welcome to the Art of Artisan. Today we are going to be playing a mid-range deck in Explorer. This deck is called Golgari Treasures, and it's not actually that heavy on the treasure theme, but it is just a very grindy Golgari deck. But let's start talking about the treasure part. So we've got the classic Shambling Ghast, which when it dies creates a treasure token, Deadly Dispute, sacrifice a creature, create a treasure token, and Skullport Merchant, sacrifice a creature or a treasure to draw a card. Situation. These three cards are extremely powerful altogether. We've also got Prosperous Innkeepers and Jewel Thief, which when they come into play, create treasure tokens. But the card that is kind of unique to this deck is Devour Intellect. This, if we spend mana from a treasure to cast it, is a Thoughtseize with no downside. So we're going to be trying to cast Devour Intellect for full value, despite it usually being a pretty bad card. But it is so consistent in this deck that we have treasures to sacrifice for it, that it is a fairly good just Thoughtseize effect. And so that's the treasure engine. We've got Devour Intellect and Skullport Merchant and Deadly Dispute as payoffs for all these treasures that we're going to have. But just drawing cards and getting value is not enough to win the game. So we just add more value to that because we're a mid-range deck. We've got decent bodies in Eccentric Farmer, which mills cards and then returns a land, Acolyte of Affliction, which mills cards and then returns any permanent, and Golgari Findbroker, which just straight up returns a permanent, and it's a 3/4. So we've got these decent bodies that are fairly resilient, along with Blossom Prancer, which searches our top 5 cards for another creature, and is a 4/4 body. So in the end, our game plan is to get Jewel Thieves and Golgari Findbrokers and Blossom Prancers on the battlefield and start beating our opponent down. But really, we're just going to get so many creatures and so much value going that our opponents can't keep up. And that eventually those 3/3, 4/4 bodies are going to be enough. So we need to survive for a little bit before we actually start getting all of our engines online. We're going to be playing like 10 mana per turn once we get into the late game. But before we get to the late game, we need Fatal Push, Infernal Grasp, Power Word Kill, Tear Asunder, and Elspeth's Nightmare. These cards are just removal spells that are going to keep us alive before our opponent gets to us. And that is Golgari Treasures. It's a very simple deck. One thing to note, we do have some very serious mana restrictions on Golgari Findbroker, so we're running 6 tap lands. And Riveteer's Outlook is an especially good tap land because we can pull back lands from our graveyard with Eccentric Farmer, Acolyte of Affliction, and Golgari Findbroker. So this is Golgari Treasures, a mid-range deck that uses some graveyard, uses some treasure, uses some removal, and we just hope to outvalue our opponents. Let's get to the games and see how it does. Game number 1. Playing against Celia. And our opening hand is slow. An opponent goes first. The Skullport Merchant is a good blocker. We've got decent mana. I think we're going to keep it regardless. Hope our opponent's not mono black aggro. Okay, Thoughtseize we're fine with. Trading 1 for 1 is not an issue for us. Taking Skullport Merchant, probably their best play. Okay. Play a Forest. Black-red. Oh, opponent is aggressive. We are in trouble. Less in trouble. We've now got a blocker. Should be... Okay, Blood Tithe Harvester. And they attack. We will trade. We'll give it -1/-1. Goodbye, Blood Tithe Harvester. Unless they sack it. Nope. Okay. Another Blossom Prancer. Expensive. Gosh dang, that's real expensive. But our opponent, I think we're going to run them out of cards quickly, and these Blossom Prancers can gain us life. So I'm feeling pretty safe about where we're at, actually. I would like more black mana, but that's fine. What we actually want here is a land. Green mana, not exciting, but we'll take it. Blossom Prancers are going to be a serious issue for our opponent. A 4/4 is just hard to remove. Like Voltage Surge gets it, that's a common card. But Fatal Push can't get it. Yeah, Fatal Push. Okay, so our opponent has spent... they discarded a Fatal Push so that they could cast a Fatal Push. Kind of an interesting one right there. Each player discards a card. I think we actually discard the Shambling Ghast. We just don't have enough black mana, and we're going to be casting Blossom Prancers for the next couple turns. Okay, Blossom Prancer number 1. Let's hope it finds another one. Blossom Prancer into Blossom Prancer is so good. Into Shambling Ghast, okay. Fair enough. Next turn we can cast a Blossom Prancer and a Shambling Ghast to get around Liliana down ticking 2 turns in a row. They discard the Fatal Push. Yep, Fatal Push is useless. Okay, Graveyard Trespasser? Sure. What you gonna do? Attack into our 4/4? They just have to take down their Liliana. But once they take it down, we're just gonna play 2 blockers. Okay, we're down to 10. And good luck, opponent. I'll sweet a Swamp. Blossom Prancer. Finds us a Golgari Findbroker, I believe. Yes, that will get us back our other Blossom Prancer. And Shambling Ghast. Okay. We've got the blockers. We've got everything we need. Okay, Sorin the Mirthless. He makes a flyer, but we've got reach. Our opponent can't get through our reach. If they swing in with both their creatures die. If they tick down Liliana, they're in trouble. Okay, each player discards a card. We'll discard our Forest, actually. A little bit disappointing. We like to have lots of lands with this deck. I think we're actually going to Acolyte of Affliction here. Yeah, we're going to Acolyte of Affliction. Mill 2. And we will bring back a Blossom Prancer. Okay, these Planeswalkers are a serious issue. Make no mistake, those are a serious issue for us right now. But we also do just have, like, we have the ground held down. Can we beat Planeswalkers, though? This is always the question with Artisan mid-range decks, is how do we beat Planeswalkers with so much value? Planeswalkers just keep giving and giving and giving. And it's kind of ridiculous. But the opponent cannot swing at us. They're swinging at us. For real? Okay, we will trade with our Acolyte of Affliction. We are fine making that trade. Okay, bonk. Now what does the opponent do? They stomp our Shambling Ghast. Okay, now they can tick down their Liliana. They can tick down their Liliana, and that will kill our Blossom Prancer. But that's good. That means that Liliana's a little bit further away from ultimate. Oh, we're just going to Deadly Dispute our Blossom Prancer. They didn't tick it down. Why didn't they tick down Liliana? Oh, man. Value Town, here we come. Okay, what can we cast this turn? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Okay, we're going to swing in with the Blossom Prancer, then cast Blossom Prancer and Golgari Findbroker to get back the Blossom Prancer that died. So I'm most scared right now of Sorin, I think. Sorin's a little bit bigger of a threat. So we'll swing at Sorin. Opponent blocks with Graveyard Trespasser and their Flyer. Graveyard Trespasser is going to die. That one's the actual threatening one. We trade that. And now we cast Blossom Prancer. We get into our hand, nothing. guess we gain 4 life. And then we Golgari Findbroker, and we get back Blossom Prancer. Oh, the value loops. You gotta love it. How does an opponent keep up with this? I guess with 2 Planeswalkers, they can try. Oh, Kroxa. Kroxa's scary. I guess we discard a Prosperous Innkeeper. That's really scary, though. They have enough cards in their graveyard to cast it. Dang, we're going to die to some strong mythics. Okay, we sacrifice the Golgari Findbroker. Opponent passes. Okay, so we start off by swinging into Sorin. Opponent blocks. That's kind of an obvious move for them. Okay, we're going to Skullport Merchant. What we really need is Elspeth Conquers Death, Saga Phase 3. So we really need to draw into a Terra Sunder or any of our kill spells, honestly. We will kill Kroxa over and over, and it will do nothing. Shoot. So we're going to cast Skullport Merchant. We are going to Deadly Dispute the token. Drawing lots of cards. We're going to discard the Riveteer's Outlook to Kroxa, and then we're just going to Stonewall him with Blossom Prancers. I love this deck. We're going to Stonewall a Kroxa pretty well. All right, what are they doing with Sorin? Ticking up? I assume they tick up. I mean, eventually they can kill us with Sorin alone. Okay. Oh, Chandra. Oh, gosh, Chandra. Oh, wait. Haha. Okay. Chandra's fine, I think. Oh, Chandra's very fine. Wait a second, their Chandra's dead? Yeah, we get to kill Chandra here. I'm not sure they made the right call. Ticking it up. I think they should have killed our Blossom Prancer. Okay, my turn. Elspeth's Nightmare. I don't know. Okay, so we can kill a Sorin creature with Elspeth's Nightmare. Chandra is card draw and damage. Let's start off with this. Let's see what we draw, if we draw a creature at all. We hit Acolyte of Affliction, which can get us back a Blossom Prancer eventually, which I think is the most important thing here. And we just swing into Chandra. Take that, Chandra. And we're probably just going to discard Elspeth's Nightmare to Kroxa. Oh, but also Liliana ticking up. But we can draw with Skullport Merchant. All right, let's draw with Skullport Merchant. If we draw another land, we'll play one. That's the 4th Blossom Prancer. Okay. Here we go. They cast Kroxa, and then we really need to draw something. We really need to draw something good to get around this Kroxa. Because Sorin's eventually just going to kill us. Liliana's really handling our hand. Yeah, they're casting Kroxa. Blood on the Snow? Really? Oh man, that's so good. I did not expect our opponent to be playing that. Okay, there comes Chandra. And this is just Rakdos Midrange doing Rakdos Midrange things. I don't know if we can ever keep up with this. Each player discards a card. We discard the Riveteer's Outlook. We have enough mana to cast this and this. Yes, we have exactly enough. Okay. So we Elspeth's Nightmare. And we kill that. And then we cast Acolyte of Affliction. And we start threatening their Planeswalkers again. We will take Let's see, how much mana will we have next turn? We'll have enough for a Prosperous Innkeeper and a Blossom Prancer. So we'll just take Blossom Prancer. Here comes Kroxa, finally. Exile the top card, Angrass Rampage. That's pretty good. Chandra Ultimate's at 7, it's at 6 right now. Oh, they just choose for damage. That may be a mistake. We have Life Gain in our deck. I'm actually discarding a Blossom Prancer. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts, but I'm discarding a Blossom Prancer here. Oh no, Kroxa comes down. Yeah, Kroxa comes down and we're forced to discard. And we can't get through him. I think we discard the second Blossom Prancer as much as that hurts. And they get their flyer. Nice, nice. They reveal their hand, whatever. We cast Prosperous Innkeeper. Then we cast Blossom Prancer. Find a Golgari Findbroker. Okay. No attacks. If they swing in with Kroxa, we can kill it. And then their graveyard gets exiled. That's kind of nice. However, they will force us to discard twice. Oh, they can just recast Kroxa. They can just recast Kroxa. Shoot. But do they do it? Target player sacrifices a creature. We sack the Innkeeper. Chandra's going to ultimate, and that will kill us. Chandra ultimate is going to be the end of this game. That sucks. That's kind of a lame ending. Elspeth's Nightmare. We exile their graveyard. We cast another Prosperous Innkeeper. Let's get some life gain going. We Golgari Findbroker. We bring back we Elspeth's Nightmare. Then we can swing into Kroxa and bump down Chandra a little bit. We haven't hit a single good removal spell. We haven't. Oh, we hit Power Word Kill right at the start. I think we just go for Blossom Prancer, Life Gain, and more threatening, and it sucks. All right, I shouldn't have done that. What we have to do here, in order to survive, we have to kill Acolyte of Affliction and hope we hit something that kills Kroxa. No. We have to kill Golgari Findbroker. Find something that kills Kroxa. Auto pay. Kill Golgari Findbroker. Infernal Grasp. And a land. Here we go. Infernal Grasp on Kroxa. Auto pay. And then we swing both of these into Chandra, and they have nothing in their graveyard to bring back Kroxa. Oh my gosh. Okay, Chandra down to 5. We're actually grinding against Kroxa and 3 Planeswalkers. This feels so good. All right, Chandra kills our Blossom Prancer. Chandra is now dead. Unless they take down Sorin and kill Sorin. They kill their own Sorin. Hopefully they don't have another Sorin in hand. That would suck. Chandra number 2. Ooh, mama. This is heating up. Chandra as a kill spell. Each player... Oh, discard! Oh, the discard was so good. Okay, we can do something here. We can kill their Chandra. And then it just becomes a top deck war. I think we actually might win the top deck war. We kill their token. We swing in at Chandra. Liliana can kill our Prosperous Innkeeper. That's all she can do. Kroxa can't come back yet. Land. Oh, I would have actually discarded that land. If I were them, I would be trying to get Kroxa as fast as I can. And I would be using Liliana to discard my own stuff. Also, Fatal Push kills Kroxa. Just saying. I'd also be using Field of Ruin. Like, Field of Ruin is a way to... There we go. Now they're playing smart. Oh, they can't Field of Ruin. We have no non-basic lands. Oh my gosh. Hilarious. We have no non-basic lands, so they can't use Field of Ruin to power out Kroxa. Benefits of playing a budget deck. Alright, they discard their own card. If they cast Kroxa, we lose. We have to draw a removal spell off the top. Removal spell off the top, or we lose. Swamp. Hey, Kroxa kills us. Oh, we almost beat the best deck in Explorer. We had a lot of really close things there. I feel like we actually could have pulled it off. That sucked. Oh well. On to game number 2. Game number 2. Playing against Iamine. I actually really want our opponents to be playing top tier decks because I feel like we can actually outgrind some of the top tier decks. Alright, we've got Removal, we've got Blossom Prancer, we've got Skullport Merchant. Slightly slow start, but we're good. We've got 5 lands. And with Blossom Prancer and Skullport Merchant down, that's actually what we want. Like, we want just as many lands as we can get our hands on. Because we can just do so much in one turn. Old Growth Troll. We'll kill it. Opponent's playing Stompy. This is actually a bad matchup for us. A pretty bad matchup for us, unless we can start chaining together Blossom Prancers. Blossom Prancers are the answer. Oh gosh, we're drawing nothing but lands. But we are facing like a good-looking deck. I've had a bad MMR for so long that I've really missed decks like this. Oh gosh. Okay, I said I wanted lands, but maybe not this many. We are going to cast the Blossom Prancer now. And we're going to find another Blossom Prancer. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to do against a Stompy deck. Just have a bunch of 4/4 blockers. Kogla? Sure. Oh no. Oh gosh, that's so good. Kogla got us. Oh, never mind. This sucks. This sucks a lot. Yeah, we can't block him yet. Nothing good. Shambling Ghast, I guess. Shambling Ghast we can do stuff with. Kogla we cannot beat without more blocking power. Okay, no blocks. We take 7. Oh gosh. That ramp from Old Growth Troll. I mean, it's a good card on its... Okay, our opponent's just playing Stompy. Like, insane Stompy. I don't think there was anything we could do against this. They're just playing massive creatures that, like, nobody should be playing. And yet they are. Acolyte of Affliction, mill 2. Get back a Blossom Prancer. We can devour intellect, but it won't actually be very good. Our opponent's playing such heavy... Never mind, our opponent's not playing a good deck, and for that reason, they're going to beat us. Ugh, that's a bad feeling. That's a really bad feeling. Haste it up. They swing with the whole team. Okay, so obvious blocks. What are the best blocks here? We can kill the Shifting Ceratops. Titan of Industry has Trample. We're going to just do this to it anyways. Blossom Prancer is going to block Shifting Ceratops. We don't have enough damage to kill anything else, which means we should probably actually just spend 2 creatures to kill Kogla. And then we have to just soak up as much damage as we can. Oh, but then Skullport Merchant. Then Shambling Gas dying does nothing. Is there any way to rearrange this so that Shambling Gas dying is significant? Yes, there is. Okay, Blossom Prancer blocks that. Acolyte of Affliction blocks that. We take exactly too much damage. You know what? I give up. We're dead. We're dead. We were so close to doing nothing. Yeah, we weren't even close. Opponent just played ridiculous creatures. Absolutely ridiculous creatures. I'm not even mad about that one. Like, I actually only care about how we fare against the good decks in this meta. So I'm just gonna move on from that one. On to game 3. Game number 3. Playing against his Landeth. And we've got a removal heavy hand with Acolyte of Affliction. All right, we're going to keep this. Not as great as it could be. And the big question is, do we go for double black or double green early on? And I think the answer is actually double black. Just because we have so many black cards, I can see us needing it earlier. Like if we draw a Shambling Ghast, there's a Blossom Prancer, the #1 reason to not have done what I just did. Okay, cast your creature, opponent. Foretells. Oh, we're playing against... Are we playing against Control? Control is a very interesting matchup. It depends on how many, like, finishers they're running. If they're a finisher-heavy Control deck, we lose. We can't keep up with their massive value engines. Oof, just straight lands. This one hurts. We'll grab a swamp. Dang, we didn't mill anything good there. That's really bad. All right. Behold the Multiverse. Is this a good Control deck or is this a bad one? I really want a rematch of game 1. That was so much fun. Okay. We swing in with Acolyte of Affliction. Hit. Blossom Prancer. Find us another Blossom Prancer, please. Golgari Findbroker. That's, in some ways, another Blossom Prancer. Okay. Doomscar. I'm assuming they're going to Doomscar us. Doomscar, Supreme Verdict. They only have 1 white mana, though. They can't. With 1 white mana, they can't cast any of their sweepers. Ooh, that's actually really good for us. Okay, is this the white mana for Doomscar? White mana, Doomscar. Archon of Emeria. Not gonna lie, that's not what I expected. We'll just power word kill that. Badunk. Yep, that was neat. Thanks for sharing. And we'll swing in. And we will play out the Shambling Ghast, I think. No, it doesn't matter. We have a 2-turn clock. Playing Shambling Ghast does not change our clock at all. I think saving up Deadly Dispute and Infernal Grasp for whatever shenanigans our opponent might play is the best play. Archon of Emeria, you're getting killed. Sweet, we got it. Right, is our opponent playing some sort of combo deck with Archon of Emeria? Or are they just trying to play Archon of Emeria so they can counter us every single turn? That sounds more realistic. That's what a Control player would do. Is this Fateful Absence? No, it's taking the damage. Okay. I'm going to play out the Eccentric Farmer. Have I played a land drop this turn? I think I already have. So Eccentric Farmer isn't that great. But I still want to do it for next turn. Next turn, I can have a land. And then I'll have 8 mana. And I can Golgari Findbroker. If they sweep the board, I can Golgari Findbroker. Bring back Acolyte of Affliction. Acolyte of Affliction, bring back Blossom Prancer. And that sounds sick. And now if our opponent has a removal spell, it's not too bad. Like, we'll get them down to 2, which seems decent. Okay, opponent. What you got? Doomscar. We will sacrifice our Blossom Prancer happily. Drawn to another Deadly Dispute. Oh, another Deadly Dispute would be so good. Darn it. Okay, they wipe our board. And we get a lot of interesting stuff here that we could do. I think my favorite line is actually Golgari Findbroker, bring back Acolyte of Affliction for just the longest term payoff that we can get, like just pure value. We grab Acolyte of Affliction. And then I think, do we want to Elspeth's Nightmare? We can't threaten lethal this turn. So I think we do this. We Elspeth's Nightmare, which is going to be a 1-turn. It's going to be a duress in 1 turn, which is pretty solid. So it's a late duress. Skyclave Apparition, what are they taking? They take our duress machine. You love to see it. Okay, we swing in with both. How do you block opponent? They block the Shambling Ghast. They don't block. That has me more confused than anything. I'm going to cast Acolyte of Affliction. Mill 2. And bring back a Blossom Prancer. Hello, opponent. And we're threatening lethal right now. Is it best to play out the Blossom Prancer and threaten lethal for sure, and they have to sweep the board, and we still draw a card? Or is it better to play it safe so that we can play, if they do sweep the board, we can just Blossom Prancer afterwards? Got a Foretold card. It's probably Doomscar, which means I'm actually going to do this play. This still threatens lethal through a removal spell. I don't care about Prosperous Innkeeper unless it's literally just for that 1 point of damage lethal. So I think this is the correct play. We now force them to sweep the board even if they have a removal spell or a second blocker. And then after they sweep the board, we have a 3/3 from Elspeth's Nightmare, plus Blossom Prancer gets back something. Oh, you're giving us back our Golgari Findbroker? Thank you, opponent. And that's the removal spell. They can't sweep the board because of Elspeth's Nightmare. They have to Skyclave Apparition again. And now they're super locked out of sweeping the board. I did not think of that. Okay. Do we have anything cool we can do with that? Not really. So we just Blossom Prancer. Does opponent counter it? If they counter it, then we Golgari Findbroker, bring back plot. Saw it coming, okay. Resolves. We will Golgari Findbroker. And we will bring back our Blossom Prancer. Thanks for bouncing our Golgari Findbroker, opponent. And let's get a land out of our deck. Preferably a forest, keep our colors even. And we have Power Word Kill on our opponent's end step. Power Word Kill on our opponent's end step is a great way to threaten lethal. Elspeth Conquers Death. I think we have lethal. If they cannot find a counter, if they don't have a land, then this is guaranteed lethal. Skyclave Apparition, dead. Autopay. Skyclave Apparition, not very good in a control deck, honestly. Not too impressed with our opponent's deck. But now we've got lethal. And opponent scoops it up. Alrighty. Let's get to game number 4. Game number 4, playing against 79. And we've got Deadly Dispute in this hand, which makes it a lot more playable. Hopefully we can start getting to our Blossom Prancers. Blossom Prancer is the card of this deck. Ooh, there goes Deadly Dispute. Or Fatal Push, depending on what our opponent's game plan is. But I'm guessing Deadly Dispute. Oh, okay. Ooh. That makes me want to play Shambling Ghast, even though that gives us less, that gives our opponent more information. Scavenging Ooze. There. Play a Forest. We swing in with the Shambling Ghast. Opponent does not block. We play out a Prosperous Innkeeper. And we will pass the turn. All right, so if we can keep creatures out of our graveyard, Scavenging Ooze is not a problem. If we can't, then we're in serious issues. Beginning of your upkeep, put a bounty on target creature. So we can Deadly Dispute in response to their Cheville trigger. No attacks. End turn. Cheville marks Prosperous Innkeeper. Okay, I'm fine with that, I think. Yeah, because I can't sacrifice it now, or else Scavenging Ooze can grow by eating the thing out of our graveyard, and then Shambling Ghast can no longer block Scavenging Ooze. And that would be sad. Opponent March of Wretched Sorrows. They know we can sacrifice it, so that's kind of a sad play for them. I'm going to give the Scavenging Ooze -1/-1 until end of turn. Okay, they exile. Okay, we forced them to take certain actions this turn. We slowed down 1 damage as well. Power Word killed. That's great. Resolve. Pass. They swing in. We probably want to kill Cheville. Yeah, we'll just take this. Take 3 damage. Not too bad. I mean, that's not a super fast clock on us. Okay, Tear Asunder can be good eventually. Right, Deadly Dispute to hit a land drop. We gotta hit a land drop here. Please land drop. Land drop. Okay. And now we can Tear Asunder the Scavenging Ooze. We can kill Cheville. We've got a lot of options here. We're hitting our removal. We've got 2 removal spells. Our opponent has 2 creatures. We are not hitting any of our treasure payoffs. I'm not going to be blocking with this Prosperous Innkeeper, so I'm going to swing with it. Get in for 1 damage. Woohoo! And I can play out Shambling Ghast, but it does not block Scavenging Ooze anymore, so that's kind of useless. Okay, we'll see what our opponent does. They upkeep could have exiled a card from a graveyard, and they chose not to. I guess there's no creatures in graveyards, but I'd still be exiling cards from my graveyard, because we care about our graveyard a lot. We'll take this damage. Or will we? Yeah, we're going to take the damage. An opponent needs to play something out. Vraska. Okay, we can Power Word kill Cheville, Tear Asunder Vraska. Because I think Vraska's just going to kill our Prosperous Innkeeper. Okay, we don't want them to get any value off of this. So we Power Word kill Cheville. Okay, Vraska kills our Prosperous Innkeeper. Our turn. Land. Land is always good. Well, it's usually good. We don't have any big payoffs in our graveyard for anything. Kind of just want to run out threat, threat, threat. Shambling Ghast, Prosperous Innkeeper, Jewel Thief. And then whatever our opponent does, we can tear asunder the Scavenging Ooze and then go after Vraska. I think that's what we do. Okay. Jewel Thief. Prosperous Innkeeper. And Shambling Ghast. Okay, we really need to draw pretty much Blossom Prancer. We need to get to our Blossom Prancer part of the game, where we just start looping it like crazy. That's our best hope of winning. Vraska can sacrifice another permanent. If you do, you gain 1 life and draw a card. I don't think our opponent's going to do it. They seem to be land screwed. And they seem to like their Scavenging Ooze. Cheville. Good card there. Okay, do they choose to sacrifice anything? If they do, I'm shocked. Okay, pass. They swing in. That seems pretty risky to me. We will not block. Do they pump it up? Because if they pump it up, then they use all their mana for the turn. And then we have free reign to do whatever we want and not be scared. Instead, we're going to tear asunder Cheville and swing everything at Vraska. Kill Vraska. That's the opponent's. That's their mid-range engine, and their mid-range engine is what we're scared of because we cannot beat We cannot beat the crazy mid-range engines of some of these decks. And I'm not scared, so they could pump this up to 7 maximum or 8. Yeah, there's no way they kill us this turn. No way they kill us this turn. And then I think we start to stabilize. They exile the Prosperous Innkeeper. They exile their own Cheville, except he was already exiled. But they exiled the other one. Okay, yeah, there was another one. 5, we take it. Giant Growth. Our opponent just has Giant Growth in their deck. There are no creatures in graveyards, right? Yeah, there's no creatures in graveyards. I think we've turned the corner. Okay, we Acolyte of Affliction. I mill 2 cards, then I return the permanent. There's no chance for them to react to this. They cannot exile the card from our graveyard before it gets put into our hand. So that's really powerful here. We mill 2, then we return it to our hand. We return the Shambling Ghast. Sorry, opponent, no time to respond. Prosperous Innkeeper gaining us life and being a total Chad. Scavenging Ooze can't do much. They are starting to exile cards for randomness. Okay, they now know that we're a graveyard deck, and they're now going to start just exiling. Scavenging Ooze is a great answer to our deck. But I think we've got Scavenging Ooze locked on defense now. And then Skullport Merchant is going to start getting us all sorts of oodles of value. The card that scares me here is Kalitas. Kalitas would be very scary. Tenacious Underdog, nah, whatever. They're getting in. Oh man, this is probably a opponent trying to blow us out, but we're gonna do it. Okay, even if they remove one of our threats, they have the mana. They do have the mana. All right, we've got a full block. There's no creatures in graveyards. There's no way that they get out of this. Yeah, this is going to kill their Scavenging Ooze, like regardless of what they do. Interesting choice. Baleful Mastery. Exiles that. Oh, do I Infernal Grasp the Ooze now? I think I Infernal Grasp the Ooze. Thank you for that card draw, opponent. Auto pay. Goodbye, Scavenging Ooze. We get to keep our board. They don't get to exile anything. I mean, they get to exile a Fatal Push. Oh no. I'm very scared of them exiling my Fatal Push. All right, now we get to start drawing cards with Skullport Merchant. And we are set up pretty well. I'm feeling pretty good against this opponent. No attacks. End turn. Gilded Goose. Okay. Honk honk. They get a food token. Why do they have Gilded Goose in their deck? Vraska. That is so good with Gilded Goose right now. Okay. What are they going to do with that? Vraska. They don't know we have Golgari Findbroker in our hand. All right, they're going to sacrifice the food, tick up. It's a great plan for them. And then in response, we are going to try and do our best to knock down that Vraska a little bit. It's another Skullport Merchant, not the greatest draw. Riveteer's Outlook, also not the greatest draw. And we will swing everything at Vraska. Whatever dies, we can get back with Golgari Findbroker. And we can sacrifice our Shambling Ghast at instant speed to do some shenanigans. Or post-combat, we can sacrifice them. So yeah, this looks like a good plan. Okay, they block the Prosperous Innkeeper and the Skullport Merchant. Fair enough. We knock down Vraska by 4. And then we kill both of our opponent's creatures. Or at least the goose. We need to kill the goose. And then we'll see what we draw. Goodbye, goose. They could start blitzing their underdog. I actually kind of don't want them to do that. It's a land. That does mean we can Skullport Merchant and sack the Shambling Ghast. That seems good. Sack the Shambling Ghast. Kill the underdog. Draw a card. Skullport Merchants for days. Pass the turn. Now that Vraska's under serious duress, they can play out their Tenacious Underdog. Oh, they're sacrificing a land. Opponent's really desperate for something. Dang, but Planeswalkers are so hard for us. Planeswalkers really are hard for us. Assassin's Trophy. Free land card. It's a free land card. I'd love to sack it to the Skullport Merchant, but it's not worth missing out on the land and the 2 treasures. I think I'd rather just have the land here. We're going to need more black than anything. Opponent. Can they now blitz their underdog? Oh, Murderous Rider. Okay. Little do they know, we have another Skullport Merchant and a way to start getting them back. Murderous Rider is a 2/3. Easy. We can handle that. Shambling Ghast is worth 2 cards, assuming that our Skullport Merchant lives. Skullport Merchant is also worth 2 cards, assuming Skullport Merchant lives. So we should get back a Skullport Merchant. So we're going to do this. Opponent's just like, oh boy, another Skullport Merchant. And we get to hit Vraska. And we get to Stonewall Tenacious Underdog. And we're going to get back Skullport Merchant. Opponent scoops it up. We just had too much value for them. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, we don't need to win. We just need to get these value loops going, and we will eventually be in a situation where we're winning, and our opponent just has to give up. All right, let's see if we can get the winning record. Game 5. Get the reverse sweep. Game number 5 for the winning record versus Uncle Dum Dum. We've got a reasonable hand. Deadly Dispute would certainly improve it. But Infernal Grasp is nice. Acolyte of Affliction is nice. Blossom Prancer, some more lands. There's a couple things that we'd like to draw over the next couple turns. Opponents on white, Speaker of the Heavens. Oh, we are going to value our removal a lot this matchup. I get the feeling. I think we're going to grab black here. I like having double black more than I like having double green, except for Blossom Prancer. Blossom Prancer is the reason to not have double black, to go for double green instead. All right, Cleric of Life's Bond. Do they swing in? Do they sack their Speaker of the Heavens? Okay, they don't. Okay. Decision point. Do I start playing a card, Jewel Thief, and put some pressure on the opponent? Or do I get rid of their life gain source? I think I have to do this. I can't afford to do nothing. Our opponent just has too many haymakers for us to do nothing. No attacks. We're gonna play super safe on defense. Our plan is not to kill our opponent here. Our plan is to outvalue them. Righteous Valkyrie. Okay, that's scary, but we can beat that. Power Word Kill notably does not kill angels, so that is a little bit scary. But we can Infernal Grasp, Righteous Valkyrie, Power Word Kill, Cleric of Life's Bond. I wish we could also Devour Intellect. You know what? We're going to Devour Intellect. Yes. We're going to Devour Intellect and then just Infernal Grasp the Righteous Valkyrie. We're going to see how well this works. We haven't gotten to see this card in action yet. Opponent has Righteous Valkyrie, Phyrexian Missionary, so they can bring back a Righteous Valkyrie. Shoot. They've got two. They've got the value loops too. They've got these dumb value loops. So if we get rid of Phyrexian Missionary, they play a Johnny's Welcome, then Righteous Valkyrie. They gain a fair amount of life. All right, we just have to hope we get the answer to the second Righteous Valkyrie, because Phyrexian Missionary is the one that can actually keep our opponent going. No attacks. End the turn. Start off with a Johnny's Welcome, then Righteous Valkyrie. Sweet. Okay, we Infernal Grasp or Righteous Valkyrie. Opponent gains 1 life. Okay. They gain 2 life, actually, and Cleric of Life's Bond starts to grow. Cleric of Life's Bond swings in, we block with Shambling Ghast and kill Speaker of the Heavens. I think I do this. I think I kill their Speaker of the Heavens. Or I swing in with Jewel Thief. If they block with Cleric of Life's Bond, I Power Word kill it. Then I Deadly Dispute the Shambling Ghast and Power Word kill it. If they block with Righteous Valkyrie, then I kill it with... Okay. We're going to try this. We need to keep their life total a little bit low, so we swing them with Jewel Thief. This is a little bit risky. But we want them to block with Righteous Valkyrie. Or they take it. Okay. So now we Deadly Dispute. Goodbye Shambling Ghast. And we're going to have to kill this Speaker of the Heavens. Like, just cutting our opponent off of everything is super important in this matchup. Oh, Fatal Push. We can do it. We kill the Righteous Valkyrie. Yes! Removal coming in clutch. And now we just need a Power Word kill the Cleric of Life's Bond. And our opponent is left doing pretty much nothing. Prosperous Innkeeper. No, we're just going to straight up kill it. Goodbye, Cleric. Okay. Now we need to kill our opponent. Or at least pressure their life total. Cleric of Life's Bond. That grows to 3/3. Sweet. Empty-handed. That's what we like to see. Okay, Eccentric Farmer. Do we have any lands in our graveyard? We do have a Riveteer's Outlook. Sweet. Eccentric Farmer. Mills us some lands. We're actually just going to grab the Riveteer's Outlook, because we can't really cast anything this turn anyways. We grab a Forest. And we swing in with the Cat. Our opponent obviously does not block it, but we will double block him if he plays a creature now. Okay, Veto. They drain us for 2. They get a 4/4, which we will happily double block, and they know it. So now we start to gain some life of our own. Prosperous Innkeeper into Skullport Merchant. We can no longer pressure our opponent's life total, though. So if our opponent draws a Righteous Valkyrie, we are now in big trouble unless we get another removal spell, which we should draw eventually off of Skullport Merchant and Deadly Dispute. We'll see. Revitalize. That's actually really good for our opponent here. That's card draw. Like, it's just extra life gain tacked onto whatever card they draw. That's value. Johnny's welcome. Not the card our opponent was hoping to see. They can't really trade anything well. We get our turn. Tear Asunder. Yes! The Cleric of Life's Bond is dead. That's a Blossom Prancer. We sadly are going to have to spend a treasure on this, but I think it's worth it. Autopay. And our opponent's life total is now way more important than our life total, so we're going to swing in with all 3 of these. Opponent blocks 1. They really blocked the wrong one there. Honestly, that was the wrong one to block. Speaker of the Heavens, not going to do much for our opponent. And we're about to start Blossom Prancing. In fact, I think we're going to Prosperous Innkeeper into Blossom Prancer to keep our life total high. Because Veto's actually kind of a threat just on its own. Never mind. We're just going to Blossom Prancer and see what we get. Yeah, we're going to do it. Go. What say you to a 4/4? It grabs us an Acolyte of Affliction, I guess. We've already got the Skullport Merchant. Gains us a life. We now can swing in. An opponent. This is it. We've just ran them out of threats. This is how you beat Lifegain. Is you just kill their payoffs, and all of a sudden they're doing nothing. Oh gosh, are they really? I guess they get lifelink. Yeah, this Never mind, it wasn't smart of me to swing with everything there, because that just lost us a life was all. This dealt 1 damage, they gained a life, we lost life. There's Righteous Valkyrie. Okay. We're in trouble now. We're in serious trouble, actually. Swamp, that's great, because now we can Prosperous Innkeeper. Good. Into Shambling Ghast. No, we're not going to Shambling Ghast yet. We're going to bait our opponent. We're going to swing with Jewel Thief. We will see how they block. If they block with Righteous Valkyrie is dead. They don't block with Righteous Valkyrie. Sad day. Okay, I guess we Acolyte of Affliction and gain 2 life. We really got to put the pressure on them. Ooh, that wasn't great. Elspeth's Nightmare. That kills Righteous Valkyrie. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Elspeth's Nightmare kills Righteous Valkyrie. They have to draw something good this turn. Nothing. Swing in. Forget that Blossom Prancer has reach. Dang it. Okay, they don't. Our turn. And Elspeth's Nightmare kills their Righteous Valkyrie. So good. And we can bring it back with Acolyte of Affliction. Okay, that's dead. And we now can happily swing in with you, and you. And you. Yeah, because we've got the blocker in the form of Jewel Thief. We're going to save our Prosperous Innkeepers. They're kind of important. Veto gives them lifelink. Are they going to block, though, and how? They block for 1 damage. Get walloped for a bunch. We lose 1 life. Fair enough. We play Shambling Ghast. Gain 2 life. And I think we beat Lifegain. Speaker of the Heavens. Fair enough. Okay, a Johnny's Welcome. They drain us for 2. And this next turn, I'm going to kill both their Speaker of the Heavens by sacking Shambling Ghast to Skullport Merchant now, casting Acolyte of Affliction, casting Shambling Ghast, sacking it to Skullport Merchant. An opponent, they're dead. They didn't even need that. They were dead. And that brings us to a winning record. Let's get to the deck wrap-up. 3-2. That is a good record. I'm actually really happy with the way this record went. I think our first 2 games, the first one was against the best deck in Explorer, and it actually felt really close. It felt like we were going to stabilize at any moment, but just the Liliana as a turn 3 Planeswalker was just a little bit too much for us to keep up with, and then they snowballed that into more Planeswalkers, and we just couldn't keep up with Kroxa eventually. That was sad. Game 2, we lost to something that was just kind of not a common deck. A deck that I wouldn't expect to see very often, and it's not a very good deck, I'd say, usually. But other than that, we were winning. We were stabilizing, we were getting these value loops going, Skullport Merchant was sacrificing treasures for value. Everything was great, and I love the deck. I would not change anything about this deck list, I think. I don't think there's anything I would change. Devour Intellect, we only saw it in 1 game, but it was actually pretty key. We prevented our opponent from getting another Righteous Valkyrie down early game by killing a Phyrexian Missionary, getting a Phyrexian Missionary out of our opponent's hand, which was super useful. Golgari Findbroker. A 3/4 body for 4 is not too shabby. That's like just a solid body in general. And then add on to it the fact that it's part of our value loops. I might want to run more Findbrokers over Acolytes of Afflictions. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it a bit. Blossom Prancer, obviously all-star of the deck. Once we start playing Blossom Prancers and looping Blossom Prancers, that's when we win the game. That's like how we win. Prosperous Innkeeper Lifegain mattered quite a bit in some matchups. Like, actually, I think only in that last matchup against Lifegain, our Lifegain actually saved us. Jewel Thief did well. Eccentric Farmer is maybe one that I'd trade for a Jewel Thief. And I might want to go up on Devour Intellects, but I'm uncertain on all of this. In general, deck performed well. I have no complaints. All the cards functioned extremely well. Elspeth's Nightmare did amazing things. Like, our diversity of removal was perfect. Between Terra Sunder being expensive, Elspeth's Nightmare having benefits, these ones being pretty solid, just kill anything spells, Fatal Push being good for early stuff. If I were to do a sideboard for this deck, this is what I would do, and I'm doing this entirely based off of the Explorer metagame, the Artisan Explorer metagame. One problem in Explorer is mill. So Chainweb Arachneer is definitely a necessary card, which we can escape from our graveyard for just endless value. We fill our graveyard fairly well. Go Blank is good against control decks, which are fairly common. And then Anvil is a huge card. Anvil we need to kill with Outland Liberator and Manglehorn. I have a Manglehorn in the sideboard, which I think is actually a pretty solid card against Anvil and stuff. Just making all their stuff come into play tapped means they cannot block with their Anvil tokens ever. Some stuff against more aggressive decks, like Mire Triton, which gains us life and is a death-touching body. More removal, duress for control, although control is already a good matchup for us because we just outvalue them. They can't keep up with every single one of our cards coming with another card attached to it. And that's Golgari Treasures. I love the deck. I recommend you guys take it for a spin if you love long, grindy games. If you're someone who's just trying to get your daily wins done, don't make this deck. But if you're someone who really wants to just play some Magic, some nice, fair Magic, nice and slow, I recommend the deck. And with that, I think that's all that I have for this video. So keep on enjoying Budget Magic.